Well, it's officially fall and it's time to put the garden beds and everything away for the winter. So getting prepped for that, we've got Carson Arthur joining us. And good morning to you.
Thank you. A little brisk out here, but it's good.
Yeah. I always know when it's a season change when you're here with us, which is fantastic. It's time to get our yards in order for winter.
Absolutely.
It's fall, great time to do it. Where should we start?
So all the gardeners are out there like, oh, it's fall. I get to take a break until spring, but that's not true. This is the time of year that we got to look after trees. More than anything, we're going to take care of our trees because they take care of us. Right. With all those air conditioner advisories, we want to make sure our trees are healthy, especially in our outdoor spaces. So I'm going to show you some things that you can do at this time of year. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about is pruning your trees. When should you be pruning your trees? So when your leaves turn yellow. Right? Okay. These guys are starting to turn. They're starting to get a little bit of leaf curl. They've got some rust on them. But when the chlorophyll, the green, leaves the leaves, no pun intended, is when it's time to prune.
So more color than just the
exactly. So for example, this branch here has got lots of green still in there. All that chlorophyll is the life force of the tree. So if you prune this early, you're basically taking it away from the tree. So wait until these turn color before you get out there and start pruning.
Okay, because the tree's going to pull that back into its
system. And that's its energy, and we don't want to lose that. With evergreens, though, and I'm going to hold this piece of ugly juniper up, people start going, oh, it looks so terrible, I need to cut it out or clean it up. The truth is junipers, evergreens, spruce, they all have growth at the end of their branches. So if you cut off these branches, and I'll take my little pruners here, if you cut these off, effectively that branch no longer has the ability to regrow. So you don't want to prune these guys until spring. So leave your evergreens, all these beautiful spruce, leave them alone until spring.
Okay, so leave those until spring.
Yep. We're pruning all the deciduous trees. Okay. When it comes to pruning, all right, for your own safety, when you're using your little pruners, the general rule of thumb is no bigger than your thumb. So everybody has a different thumb size. So when you're cutting branches, stick to the size of your own thumb. Now, I'm a big guy. I'm like, of course I could cut bigger, and I do this kind of reef on it. You can really cause a lot of problems in your hand. Carpal tunnel and wrist injuries have been tied to doing this. So no bigger than your thumb. If you've got a lot of pruning to do, though, my new favorite toy this year from Craftsman, look at this guy. Watch this.
Oh. Holy!
Yeah, I took this out in the garden. I did 250 cuts on one battery. It was amazing. So I whipped through that. Yeah, and before anybody emails me, these are available at Rona. So you can go out and get one because you can do all of your yard work really easily. And then the battery switches into all of the rest of your tools.
That is so smart.
Now, when it comes to leaves, what you do with the leaves is really important. So, leaves should go into your flower beds. Leaves decomposing are a great source of fiber and nutrition for your flower beds, but make sure they're out from under the trees. Leaves under the trees are where we get fungal infections. Now, I pulled this branch out earlier, got a little bit of rust on that guy. This is a fungal disease that goes year after year after year. Also spots on your maple tree. So remove the leaves from the bottom of your trees so those fungal infections don't reinfect your tree going forward.
Okay, so away from the trees, into the garden beds.
Into the flower beds, absolutely. Let them decompose naturally. Okay. The trees from an average size maple tree works to about $50 of free fertilizer. So why are we bagging them up? Let's put them in the gardens where they're needed. How much time we got left?
We went about 30 seconds.
Okay, fertilizer. If you're gonna fertilize your trees, go for tree spikes, the harder ones. Okay. They last until spring, so your tree gets a little bit of nutrition now, which is great for it, specifically for the roots, but then when the tree wakes up in the spring, the food is ready. So if you're gonna fertilize, hard spikes are the way to go.
Okay, what about our lawns? Do we need to fertilize that?
You don't want to do too much fertilizing on the lawn except for a fertilizer with a high middle number. That, again, promotes root growth instead of greening up the grass, which we don't want to do at this time of year. We need it to go to bed.
Okay, and my last question.
Yeah.
How short should we go with our lawns before we end off the season?
Great question. For the main grass, 3 inches is perfect. Under your trees, though, get out your string trimmers and cut them short because, again, that is where your fungal infections are. So cut those to 1.5 to 2 inches underneath the trees.
Perfect. Awesome. Carson, thank you so much for coming in this morning.